Hello and welcome back to Balanced Psychologies. As always, I hope that you're all doing really well. So today's video is all about why you still think about the narcissist secretly, or might even be sexually, that you miss them. I know that this is probably something that you don't want to admit to, or it's something that crosses your mind now and again. Maybe you might be thinking, you know, what are they doing? Have they moved on? Where are they living? What are they doing? And there's a reason why this happens, and I'm going to go into it. I'm going to explain it. There's a psychological term, what's basically happening. And I wanted to expand this in the video and talk more about why you secretly miss the narcissist, even though you know you shouldn't, you know that they are a bad person, you know that what they have done to you is just so not right, and the two of you together are so toxic. Now, you're not wrong, but you feel sad or you feel bad about thinking about the narcissist secretly. So I'm going to go into all of this in the video. The reason why you might be missing the narcissist secretly or sexually is from something called euphoric recall. And what euphoric recall is basically you just remember all the good times, all the good things that happened between both of you. This is a very human thing to do. It's a very normal thing to do, because it's kind of like you're remembering all the good times, all of the moments where you were together, where you had lovely times together, places that you had visited, things that you had done, and you remember all of that, just that, and that's what you do. You focus on remembering all of the good things. And it's likened to, or it can be kind of compared to, an addict. So you're just remembering the highs of that relationship, the highs, the moments of spending with this person. Like an addict, they're remembering all the good times, the euphoric high of taking this drug or drinking alcohol. They just remember all of the good times. And what this happens is, this is called embedded invalidation. You know, you forget about the abuse, you forget about the gaslighting, you remember the love bombing, the beginning of the relationship. And this is the crux of it. You're just remembering all of the good things, but you're forgetting all of the bad, abusive, manipulative and controlling things that they have done, the way that they have dismantled your life, the way that they have smeared your name. All of that is forgotten, and you just remember the good things, and you just wipe down everything that has happened. You know, you just want to concentrate on the good things, and this is what makes you more prone to missing the narcissist. And then the drug addict will go and take the drug again. And it's kind of like you might have even been pulled into this cycle before. You know, you might have gone back to the narcissist and this relationship only to find that you were in the same position as you was when you left the relationship. You know, you've got to remember that this isn't going to get better. The narcissist isn't going to change. And because of this euphoric recall that we are prone as humans to basically suffer, to basically experience, this is what's going on here. This isn't actually real. I feel like what would be a really good way of getting past this is by writing down all of the things that you miss about the narcissist. Then write down all of the things that they have done to you and why you had left that relationship. I would probably bet money on it that the second list would probably be longer and probably more in depth, and talk about why you actually left. This is good for you to remember the truth, because what you're doing is it's daydreaming. You're dreaming about something that isn't true, and it would really help you to see the actual truth of why you are still thinking, missing the narcissist. The other thing is, the other reason why you could be missing the narcissist is because of the trauma bond, all right? When you are in a toxic or an abusive relationship, people are most prone to experience trauma bonding. These kind of relationships are very dysfunctional, and they stem from a dysfunctional family system. So where you will be kind of remembering this euphoric recall, this is all pulling you back into the web. And it's also very uncomfortable to think about all of the things that were wrong, all of the things that went wrong in the relationship. So apart from this tangled web, you've got to remember that because of these family systems, because of this dysfunctional relationship that you may have suffered as a child, trauma bonding seems almost kind of normal, comforting, something familiar that you already know. So when you are trying to get over a narcissist, this brings up like a reminder of the dysfunctional family unit that you may have had, or the narcissistic parents that you may have had. And this is why getting over a narcissist is like literally one of the hardest things, because it's not just the narcissist that you're getting over, you're trying to get over also those family systems, those family patterns, those family relationships. That's why it feels like pulling skin off your body, because it is so painful. And you miss the familiarity. You remember, it's a remembrance of an earlier time in your life. And this is why it makes it really difficult then when you're missing the narcissist, knowing that you shouldn't, but you still do. This is why seems so familiar. It seems normal actually in these kind of relationships. This is what happens, this is what you do, but all it is highlighting something that was dysfunctional from your childhood. This is how you learn in your primary relationships of how to relate to another. You know, one time it's going to be good and then it's going to be bad, and you're always hoping that it's going to get better. Even looking at this in a sexual sense, you know, sexual trauma bonding. Now, there isn't much written about it, but it's about craving the narcissist, craving just that one more time. Like an addict, you know that it's really bad for you, but you crave it, you want it. And this is part of the sexual trauma bond that you have with the narcissist. They make you feel so good, or they make those moments feel so good. And what you're trying to do is you're always remembering that, and you're trying to get back to that, which never actually happens. And this is how the trauma bond basically continues its cycle. The other reason why you possibly could be missing the narcissist is because of future faking. You know, in your relationship, you probably would have made plans of how you wanted the future to turn out to be, or someday that you were going to change, someday this was going to happen. And it made you believe on a promise, something in the future. If we just get through this, you know, everything's going to be all right. So you're always thinking, okay, if I just do this bit, then it's going to be okay. And you're constantly waiting and waiting. And what happens is these big promises keep you in this game. You're always waiting. And again, this is highlighted within possibly the relationship that you would have had with your family, or these primary relationships. You may have grown up in a family where there was disappointment, and always it's going to get better, it's going to be better. And you were always made these promises that if you do this, then everything will be better. And again, this is, you find this quite a familiar way of interacting or interrelating with other people. And what happens is you're always feeling this disappointment, and there's a familiarity in it. There's a familiarity that everything's going to be better at some point in the future. And what happens is you miss those moments because it elicits this kind of roller coaster ride. You know, you're always feeling like, okay, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. And whilst you're in it, it's really bad, but once you get over it, it feels really good, which is the euphoric recall. So you miss those moments, you miss those things that were promised to you. You miss the drama, and this is the addiction, the drama, the chemical imbalance, the euphoric recall, the trauma bond. All of this plays a role in why you probably are missing the narcissist. But also added to that, there's another layer. Because of the times that we are living in now, because everything is so restricted, we also have a lot more time on our own. And many of us find that even though we are alone, we do think, we're thinking about things. And this is why maybe at times like this, you're more predisposed to be missing the narcissist secretly or sexually. Also, these kind of times can be triggering as well, because that you're quite isolated. You're probably cut off from people. There's not much socialization. Again, you're alone for a lot of the time. So this initiates, you know, thinking, reminiscing, and these are the things that you begin to kind of imagine. It seems like you might even be gaslighting yourself to believe that that relationship was actually good and that you're not going to get anybody else. And these are the kind of narratives that you tell yourself, which aren't true. Now, I'm going to say this is really dangerous, and you know that the narcissist isn't a good person. You know that what had happened has really upset you, has really challenged you, has maybe even damaged you. So you need to understand and see the reality and the truth of it. So this is why I suggest write it down. Write down all of the good things about the narcissist, all of the things that you miss. And then what you need to do is you logically need to look at this and think, okay, why is it that I'm actually missing them? What is it about them that I miss? Because I would encourage you to do this. This is the kind of work that I would be doing with clients, because believe me, I just want you to know you're not alone in this, and this isn't a weird thing. You're not unwell. You're not crazy for thinking this. This is a very human thing to do, and especially if you're someone who is predisposed to experiencing trauma bonding in these abusive relationships, then it's kind of like a no-brainer. You're going to be missing them. You're going to be wanting that company back. You're going to be wanting those highs and lows. You're going to be wanting all of those things that were promised to you. You're waiting, you've been good. And it's this kind of addictive cycle that you're waiting for something. You're waiting for something to happen. But what you're actually doing is you're wasting your life away. You're wasting your time away, when really you should be turning that right back onto you. You should be giving yourself this energy and time to get through this. Now, in order to bring the truth out into the light of day, I would say write it down. Why is it that you left the narcissist? Why is it that your relationship didn't work? And be brutally honest with yourself. Be really, really honest why this relationship didn't work. Don't just blame yourself and look at it like, well, maybe it's something that I could have said or done. No. If that person, the narcissist, really truly loved you from the core, you wouldn't be in this position, because when two people love each other, they wouldn't treat each other like this. And similar within a family setting, you know, if your primary relation or your significant relationships, if they really valued you, if they really cared for you, you wouldn't be in this position, because people who do care and love each other don't treat each other like this. So this is something for you to kind of like remember and think about. You wouldn't be in this position. So guys, I really hope that this video has helped. It's really just so that you can understand that you're not alone in this. You know, there are people out there who are experiencing the same thing, who are missing the narcissist, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we just need to you need to realign your thinking. All right, so guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I have the Patreon membership. This would be really good if you're suffering from something like this. It'd be really good to join the Patreon membership, because we have an online community. There's lots of resources there for you to help you with your healing. There's lots of worksheets that maybe you could be getting on with. I also go live. We do a live online stream every other week, so you would be able to join that. There's lots of resources on there as well, and also we have this supportive community. Also, if you have a question for me, I can answer it within a video format. Just check out the Wizio link down in the description box. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.